Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1964 Olivetti Lettera 32 vintage ultra portable typewriter made in Italy. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. These were also manufactured in Spain, and the difference between the two is the color. This is a more bluer color, and the Spain version is a greener color. And this is the Olivetti Lettera 32, one of the most iconic typewriters of all time and one of the best of all time. Up top are the margins. This is the left margin and this is the right margin. I'm going to set that on 0 and 75. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. And this is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got 2 adjustable rollers and a scale. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. Hit this line space, get you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, just flip that switch down 1 notch to the 2. One more, it skips 3. We're going to keep that on single and finish typing. And as you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line and switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. Flip that all the way down to the red indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, which is red. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top to the blue indicator, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Absolutely beautiful. It's almost euphoric typing on this. Super light touch. Probably the lightest that you can get. And the print looks really good. Pica typeface, which prints 10 characters per inch, versus the Elite, which prints 12. So this is a little bit larger. And this is the standard, which is the Pica, 10 characters per inch. The Elite is a little bit more rare. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. Flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier. Load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. I'm going to put this down for now and put the color back on black. This is probably the most modern typewriter you can get, even though it's about 60 years old. It feels like a computer, and it feels like a computer keyboard, and it feels like it's a brand new typewriter in today's technology, which is crazy. But they really did wonders with the engineering on these. And the precursor to this is the Lettera 22, which is an amazing typewriter that won an award for the best technology of the last century. And this is just an upgrade from that. So it's just amazing typewriter. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. This button here that a lot of people might mistake for one key is the margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit that margin release. It does allow you to go all the way to the end. That works good. So if you want to use a 1 key, you hit the lowercase L. And if you want an exclamation point, you do a shift 8, which is the apostrophe, and then you backspace and do a period. And that's how you do it on most typewriters. The newer models will have the 1 and exclamation point on this key here. Not on the Olivetti Letteras, though. This is always going to have the same keyboard like this. To the left of that is the tab set. So right now we have tabs set on 10 space intervals, and you have to activate it with this red key. This red key is your tab button. And I got tabs on 10 space intervals, so I'm just going to go through and clear them all by flipping this switch down. You barely got to press that to get that to activate. And I'm just clearing each one of those tabs. And I'm going to set one in the middle. I always like to set one somewhere in the middle, so that way when you hit the tab button, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end. And as you can see, they're all cleared. So I'm going to set one just by flipping that up like that. It stops at that spot. And sometimes you'll have an S and a C on that area there to tell you which is set and which one is clear. So it's just barely up to set it and barely down to clear it. You don't have to barely press that. It's really cool. But I'm just going to set one right there. What else on the keyboard? I think that's it for the keyboard. Backspace, very smooth. And to take the top panel off, you just pull it from the middle front like that, and there's a spring, and it hooks in from the back on those 2 little hooks. All the brand new ribbon is loaded on the left side, so it's pulling to the right clockwise. If you want to switch a direction behind either spool, you just rotate it to the opposite direction, and it'll start pulling the opposite direction. And that will automatically flip when you get to the end of the ribbon. There's an eyelet. If your ribbon has eyelets, which is a little metal piece on the end, it will trigger that and automatically swap it. So it will rotate back and forth indefinitely until the ribbon is dry, just like most typewriters have that. On the right side of the carriage, you got a carriage release and the carriage lock. So that was activated by me taking the panel off. And to activate it manually, you just flip it down like that. It locks in the middle. Flip it up to unlock it. Very good. Carriage release on the left side. Very nice. And if you push the button in on the left knob, it disables the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. And the same concept by flipping this line space indicator all the way back to the 0, disables it, and you put it on the 1, you get the clicks. And that's it. Now available on, oh, this flips back when you have it in the case. You don't want to mess with that. This is cast aluminum, so this doesn't bend. It will break right off there if you don't tuck that back when you put it in the case. Now available on eBay or Etsy, search Brooksaw Antiques.